Hey guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. It's been a really long time since I did my last video. I, to be honest, just haven't had time to really sit down, relax, think about what I'm going to do my video on. But I thought I'd sit down in the sun today. Well, it's not really that sun anymore. Enjoy the nice weather and just film an updated YouTube video, what's been going on. And I did put a question box on my Instagram because I was going to answer a few questions that people have put on. I've got quite a few so far, so I'll answer them at the end of the video. But yeah, let's get straight on to the video. So the last time I did a YouTube video, it was around February time. Yeah, February. I was having my second round of chemo for my relapse, for the tumours in my lungs, and since then we found out whether the chemo worked, and sadly it didn't. Unfortunately, the tumours had grown a bit more and a few more appeared, so that was sad and just annoying because I just thought that would work, but that didn't work, so it's okay. So then I had the surgery a few weeks after, about a month and a bit after my second round of chemo. I had the surgery to take out the tumour in my calf. That's all been removed, so that's one less thing to worry about. And then had my PICC line out, got a scar. I've got matching scars. Scar there, scar there. Had my PICC line out, so that was good. Hated that thing. So around this time of my surgery, we had a chat with my oncologist to discuss what we would do next, like the next plan. And we had a few options. So the first option was they were kind of equal options. So there was a clinical trial, which is called SCOOP, and it's very new. And the second option was a drug called cabozantinib, which I think I might have mentioned before. I'm not too sure actually. But cabozantinib is a form of chemo tablet that's taken every day, and I don't know 100% about the drug because I'm not on it. So yeah, I had my tumour taken out, had a bit of a break to recover, and then I started my clinical trial on the 25th of April. So what this trial involves is two drugs, one called niraparib, which is a tablet, and one called dostarlimab. I think I'm saying that right. And the niraparib is a tablet that's taken every day, and then the dostarlimab is a infusion which is done every 3 weeks, so once every 3 weeks. So it's nowhere near as intense as chemo. Side effects are very minor, just a bit of fatigue. Nothing like hair loss, nothing like destroys your good cells in your body. It's a targeted therapy. A targeted therapy, so therefore it doesn't attack all the cells, it attacks the bad cells. So that's where I'm at right now, around the 23rd of June, just before my 4th cycle of the infusion. I'll have a chest scan to reveal, hopefully cross keys, that this trial is working, because we just want something to work, and hopefully, because I feel well, I feel good, and nothing's really gotten worse. I just hope that it's worked, or just responding in some way. The miracle would be if I was cured, but I was going to explain, it might not be of interest to many people, but just explain what these drugs in the trial do. Just have to look at my laptop for this bit because I'm not great at explaining, because it's quite a hard way to explain. The dostarlimab, which is the infusion, every 3 weeks, is an immunotherapy, and what it does is it kills the protein of the cancer, so it stops it from spreading, and then the niraparib, which is a low form of chemo, goes in and actually kills the rest, if that makes sense. Essentially, the dostarlimab blocks the cancer from spreading even more, then the low form of chemo, the niraparib, goes in to kill it. Yeah, but there's not actually loads to update you on. I mean, it's been a long time, but not a load of things has happened. but I just thought I'd give everyone an update because I want to keep this YouTube pretty consistent, and I haven't done that, so I will be keeping it consistent. But Cross Keys, this trial does something, and if not, maybe have to move on to Carbozantinib, or a new trial which will probably be in the USA, because they have a few more going on in different hospitals. So whilst I mentioned the USA part, my mum and dad recently were asked to set up a GoFundMe to basically fund if I have to go to America for treatment, just to fund that, because it's not cheap and it's not free like the NHS obviously. So that would be great. I'll leave the link below, and any donations would be much appreciated, or just even to just share the link for people to share again and hopefully get a few donations. It would mean a lot if you could do that. But that's all I have about updating you all. I was going to move on to the Q&A now. Little Q&A. So I got my questions up. So let's just go. So the first question is, what's my dream job? To be honest, it changes a lot. Especially over the past year, I would love to be an oncologist, which is a cancer doctor, an oncologist in osteosarcoma, because I just think it would be good, because I've obviously been through it and I know a lot about it, and I know almost more about it because I've obviously been through it and know what the side effects are. So that would be my dream job, but that takes years and years of practice, and as bad as it sounds, I just don't have the motivation to do that. Or not at the moment, at least. I want to get better first. That's what I would say is my dream job. I would also love to run my own business, be successful obviously. Yeah. And the next question is, does your cancer have a lump? So the first tumour I had in my leg, so the place of origin in my left leg, I couldn't actually feel the lump because it was so deep in my leg, but it was swollen, but there wasn't a physical lump. However, in my most recent tumour, the one that came back in my upper calf, I could feel it. Actually, how it was discovered, my mum was massaging my leg and felt a lump, and at first I was like, oh, it's fine, it's just maybe the end of my implant in my leg. So then we kind of swept it under the rug because we weren't really worried, and then it had grown. So straight away I was like, yeah, that's not good. And the lump is basically, because osteosarcoma, osteo is bone, the tumours, so like the tumours in my lungs and the tumours in my leg are actually like bone hard. So when I would feel the lump in my calf, because it was quite near to the surface of the skin, it's a really hard lump. But whereas in my lungs, because obviously your lungs are really far in and my tumours aren't overly huge, I don't have any lumps like around my chest or anywhere. So yeah, that answers that question, I guess. So, but yeah, the tumour is a lump because the cancer is a lump because it's a tumour. Yeah. Next question is, what are you doing about my A-levels? Good question. So last year I thought I was gonna do them because I finished treatment around November. My plan was originally to go back to school in January. This was if everything was all good. At this time we didn't know that I'd relapsed in my lungs, so I wanted to go back to school in January, maybe just focus on media studies, because I did business, media and English language. I wanted to focus on media and maybe do the media exam, but obviously I relapsed and just didn't have time. And by the time I was finished chemo, because it didn't work, there just wasn't really enough time to catch up. But everyone's doing their A-levels right now, and to be honest, I would much rather be doing my A-levels and be healthy right now than be in the situation I'm in and not do A-levels. Yeah, that's that question. And I'm not really worried about like future jobs, because I could come back to do A-levels if I need them, or yeah, I'll cross that bridge when I get to it. So the next question is, do you do anything on the side of your treatment? Yeah, actually, I have my juice right here. So I have a really clean diet. I don't have sugar, salt. Obviously some foods have low forms of that in it, like fruit and stuff, but I have a good diet. I would do fitness, because fitness is obviously really good for you, because it gets the oxygen flowing around your body. But with my leg, it's not fully recovered yet. I can't do much, but I will be doing some more of that. I also have cold showers, because that gets your blood pumping around your body, gets the oxygen to the bad areas. Yeah, so diet and cold showers and fitness, they're the main things. So yeah, definitely changed since last year, because last year when I was first diagnosed, we didn't have really much of an idea of what to do apart from chemo, because we were just focused on the chemo. But because we're just trying anything we can now to keep me well, because I'm obviously living with cancer, and they said it can't be cured. I just need to keep healthy, keep my body healthy, keep my immune system healthy to fight the bad stuff in my body. And yeah, so that was that. And next question, this is a new one actually. What side effects do you get from chemo? You look so good, not like a cancer patient at all. Oh, thanks. Well, it's the fact that my eyebrows have grown back and my eyelashes, and obviously this wig's pretty good. What side effects? So initially, my first chemo last year in 2022, that was probably the worst chemo. It was just so strong, nosebleeds because of low platelets, neutropenic, so where your neutrophils, which are what fight infection, was 0. So I would always be admitted to hospital with an infection, have to have IV antibiotics, sickness, fatigue, lost loads and loads of weight, obviously because I wasn't eating, didn't want to eat. Yeah, variety. Oh my god, and one of the worst ones with my chemo, called methotrexate, is it gives you the worst mouth. I couldn't eat, my lips would swell up, ulcers, and not even ulcers, it's like one massive ulcer in your mouth. I actually might try and find a photo of what my mouth looked like. That was like for the first 3 times I had that, but then we kind of we found out how to prevent it, and it was by using a certain mouthwash that had like good properties in it to help it. But I want to try and find a photo of my mouth. So you can't actually tell 100%, but if you can kind of see how red raw it is and how swollen my lips are, that's what it looked like. There is an even worse photo, but I can't find it. Oh, here's a video. Look how bad that is. Awful. Just so bad. Yeah, that was horrible, because I couldn't eat, couldn't swallow, like it affected all my throat, it affected like all this part of your body. It was horrible. So they were like the main worst side effects. It was just awful. Tired as well, so fatigue. And then with my most recent chemo that I had in January and February, I didn't have any sickness. I think things like having these juices really helped. Neutropenic was my biggest side effect of my last chemo, because it killed all of my fighting cells, like to fight infection. So I had tonsillitis after the first cycle that I had, really bad tonsillitis, like it was awful. I haven't had a pain like that in my throat in just so long. Oh, it was awful. So that was the main thing, because my neutrophils were just 0 every time after I had chemo, and lost my hair. Oh yeah, hair loss obviously. So I lost my hair for the second time in January. That was pretty crap, but it's growing back now, so that's good. Let's see if I have any more questions. I actually don't think I have, but I think I answered ones that are quite people would like to know. Yeah, that's it. But yeah, I have once again enjoyed filming this video, and I'm really sorry for not doing a more recent video. Just haven't really had time, to be honest, but I'll be definitely keeping it more consistent in the upcoming weeks. Yeah, and I'll leave my GoFundMe link just in the subscription. If people could just share it, or just, yeah, whatever. It would just be very good if you could do that. But yeah, thanks guys for watching, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye. Bye. Cheers.